Everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
There's a great idea. Wow. Let's only do a 5-second intro. What happened to the 42-minute one that we normally
couldn't finish my
have?
Sandwich. Yeah. What's going on with the intro?
Yeah, I hadn't quite finished writing my memoirs. What the fuck?
Anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome to the program. My name is Dean. This is the Dean Blundell podcast show, whatever, Dean Blundell show. It's me, and it's me with my friends, and it happens every day around 3 o'clock. We did 4 today, because that's very important business meetings. Very important business meetings.
With weed people.
No weed people. We're out of the weed business. We got hooped by the last 2 weed people. Not doing weed business anymore because the legal weed market is more crooked than the gray market. Guaranteed.
Really?
Oh, fuck.
You got put into the bums of the weed companies?
Let me explain to you how legal cannabis works in Canada.
A lot of potato chips in there.
Every single cretin, every single person that runs every organization, and I can say this because we've dealt with most of them or heard about most of them, but every single licensed producer of cannabis in this country is not in it for the right reasons. And the 2 that we've done business with, Teal Valley and Black Rose, fucked us. I mean, wow. So yeah, I mean, and we never went to them for the business. They came to us for the business, and then they were like, "Can we do this?" And then, yeah, we'll help you with this, and we'll do that. And we did all the stuff that they needed us to do, and then no one paid us. And then you go, "Hey, can you pay us?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're not paying you anymore. We were just using you." And they will tell you that.
What?
They will. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the fucking most amazing part of this business is that if you don't have a team of lawyers, or if you're not interested in getting a team of lawyers to go and chase the business that you have of people that won't pay you, you have to do what they call move on. Or, as I've been told, let it go.
That's
and I'm
the
like,
most stoner.
About $1 million so far. About $1 million we've been fucked over for.
That is honestly the most stoner thing I've ever heard. Like, yeah, man, we're not going to pay you, man. Yeah. Sorry about that, bro. You know, like,
it seems odd that a business that was steeped in the illegal side of life has somehow gravitated over to
not paying.
How much does this have to do?
And they've maintained some of their illegal practices.
How much does this have to do with the culture of ex-police officers and ex-politicians being the main investors in
it's a big one. It's a big one. So the real problems with the legal cannabis market are, like, Julian Fantino owns, you know who Julian Fantino is, right?
Yes, he thinks weed was as bad as murder at one point.
Yeah, now he owns a whole bunch of cannabis shops. So
because he's not a hypocrite. It's okay.
Julian Fantino used to be the head of Toronto Police Services. Am I not mistaken?
Chief. He was chief. Yeah.
The chief. Yeah, he was the chief. So yeah, there's a guy that hated weed until he got a chance to make some money off it.
Yeah.
And then the market is now just full of guys from the gray market. Some of which, and you know, there's a cultural thing there. There are groups of people in the legal cannabis world that just don't feel like they have to pay any bills. So we've unfortunately tagged along with 2 of them, and we won't do it anymore. They'll have to pay us all up front now. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so it's just like any other weed dealer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's not a bad strategy.
Don't front things. That's all.
Anyway, how fucking hot is it? Are you guys like, it's 30, like 40 with the Humidex here in Toronto. It's 46 in the Okanagan and British Columbia today. They set fucking records. It's the hottest summer in the history of this country. Who set records already, and we're fucking not even through June. Unreal.
I wonder if this has anything to do with global warming.
It still snows.
You know what? I feel like I need to ask the tough questions on this pod.
I don't know, but I can tell you this. It is so hot in British Columbia so far, and for some strange reason, 4 Catholic churches have actually caught fire and burned to the ground for no reason. This one's in the Okanagan. This one's in Penticton, British Columbia. This is in Osoyoos. 4 churches,
how many so
4
far?
Catholic churches over the weekend were burned to the ground. And
sack liquor. Sean at 44 in the lower mainland.
44 Catholic churches in the lower mainland.
Oh, that's
44 churches. It's 44 fucking
I was
degrees.
about to do a happy dance. That was gonna.
Hey, we've burned down 44 Catholic churches in the Lower Mainland here today alone.
That's worth nipple tassels. It really is.
No, so they're and it's not stopping. Of course, this all comes on the heels of finding out about the Cowessness unmarked graves, 715 bodies of 715 Indigenous people were discovered in these schools, residential schools, which we've, since we've talked last, we haven't had a chance to cover because it was Thursday and all this stuff kind of happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know about you guys, but I was like, I was mortified by what I was learning. I was mortified by some of the things that I read over the weekend, because what I tried to do is I tried to really kind of stick myself in the information. I didn't want anything. I didn't do anything else other than fight with this idiot named Breen Ouellette. But I didn't really do anything else all weekend. All I did was read about residential schools. I read about the 60s scoop. I read about the smallpox and the smallpox blankets back in the 1700s that wiped out 90% of the indigenous population. Did you know that? Did you know that in the 1700s, the British brought over blankets loaded with smallpox and wiped out 90% of the indigenous population in this country?
It made it seem like it was an accident in the history books that I read, but I think they may have done it on purpose.
Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah.
They did do it on purpose, and it's been proven that it was done on purpose. And then, of course, we're finding out about these residential schools. And what I started to do, so I had a conversation with a guy named Tom Kiefer, who's in charge of an Indigenous publication in regards to cannabis. I'm having a conversation with a guy named Chief Del Riley, who wrote Section 25 and 35 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which say Indian rights and regulations usurp anything that's in the Constitution. So, the Constitution go fuck itself, which they keep ignoring. And he was in a residential school. And the story, and I can't wait to talk to him, but I was talking to Tom Kiefer about it. And this guy's in his 70s. He's Chief Del Riley is his name. And he was actually sent to a residential school as a child with tuberculosis, with the intention of putting him in general population in a residential school so that tuberculosis could take over and kill a whole bunch of people in that school. That was the first I've heard of anything like that, too.
He found out about that, or is that's what he surmised?
No, that's what he found out. That's what he went through. His grandmother, his father. I mean, everybody has been affected. This guy was, and he's the most positive individual you will ever see in your life. He's still fighting for rights. He's still standing up for Section 25 and 35 of the Charter. And we're going to have him on. But this weekend, I don't know about you guys and how you and I know Alberta is a very rich in Indigenous history, right? Locke, I don't know how you process this, but this was an awakening for me. This was an eye-opener for me.
I had no idea. Like, I mean, I think we've all heard of the residential schools, but I don't know if we heard this story, right? I mean, we've been pretty much sheltered from it. I have a friend, and I think I talked to you about him. Actually, we talked about possibly getting him on the podcast. Now, he's got friends and family that were in residential schools, but him himself was not in a residential school. And his name is Al. Al is an artist, and he works in Vancouver. He does beautiful art. Actually, I should have got you to grab some pictures for his Instagram. But
what's his Instagram? I'm him right now.
It's oh, damn it. Did I not? I texted you.
Yeah, I didn't get his stuff. I was looking for it this weekend.
We're live, Lachlan.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
No, it's all good. Hang on. I thought I texted you his Instagram page. It's not his name.
Right.
Anyway, we'll find it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up, and we'll mention it later. People can go follow him. He actually does custom pieces as well.
Haida art too, right? Like legit Haida art. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. He does a lot of work in silver. Anyway, I called him and I said, "Hey, would you be interested? Because we're friends. We used to be drinking buddies. He quit drinking years ago, but one tends to gravitate towards people that can keep up with you in the drinking game. So Al and I were quite fond of each other. Anyway, and he was also the guy that we could rib each other. even though we came from very different sides of the streets.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed his company. Anyway, I got on the phone with him and we chatted, and he was like, I don't really feel comfortable coming on. I don't want to be the guy that's trying to tell somebody else's story. But he did pass along one thing close to him. And I think he'd be okay if I told the story. But Al has a lot of family in Manitoba, and one of his cousins was in the school system. She's quite a bit older, and she was in the residential school system, and she was abused quite badly. And when she started raising her own kids, I think she had upwards of 8 kids. She refused to let any of them go to school. She was so worried that her kids would be taken advantage of and abused that she kept them out of the school system. So her kids, most of them can't read and write. And I thought that one hit me particularly hard because it sort of speaks to the ramifications of what this group, the
ongoing
people,
fallout. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had no idea, right? Like, if you trace all of this back, you can see why somebody might go, well, I don't think I'm going to send anybody to that school because of what happened to me. And then that, you know what I'm saying? It continues, right?
Well, and I was a conversation I had with my friend Derek Lepage, who is a member of the Beaver Clan up in the Sioux this week. Great guy. He's been kind enough to introduce me to a bunch of people like Tom Kiefer and Chief Del Riley. And his father dated a woman while he was 10 years old. He was 10, his brother was 12. His father dated a woman who came out of the residential school system. And the abuse that she doled out, that she learned in the residential school system, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. He said she ran the house like a nun, but she was also very abusive sexually. And the incredible part was that all of the things that happened in as he said, that perpetuated themselves in that system, worked their way into everyday life for people that weren't just on, in residential situations or living in a settlement or part of a tribe. I mean, they're perpetuated today and will continue to be perpetuated probably forever. And we don't think of that fallout, do we? It's not something that we think of. No. We just think of the crime itself.
Well, exactly. And the thing for me too, where, I mean, we had no idea, right?
Yeah. Did we lose him?
I think so.
Did we lose him?
I think so.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good while losing himself.
Jamesy,
he looks Italian right now.
You're going to jump in. You jump in and then.
I live near a reserve here. I support the community by buying clothes and like weed and shrooms and stuff like that from them. But anyways, I don't have any First Nations like actual friends, and that was actually something that I thought about for a bit. I was wondering, what the reason was, and I can't really pinpoint anything. But what I went back to was Gord Downey's Secret Path, and all of a sudden, and I swear I'm not trying to be funny or silly or anything when I say this, but like, I knew that when he wrote it, The Secret Path, what was the name of the character? Channy Wenjack?
Channy Wenjack, yeah.
And what he was walking away from, and why he was trying to find his way home, so young and so lost and everything. And then, and I almost sort of said to myself that his ending was a lot happier than the kids that had to stay at that school. And how awful is that? I don't know if we're going to hear anything about that Kenora residential school that he went to, but it just made me think of that. And I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what the Canadian government is going to do, because a lot of people don't understand that one of the main motivations for literally not doing anything or doing things at a snail's pace is because if a court rules that certain treaties that were that the Canadian government were in violation of should be remedied. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm trying to talk about this in lay terms. It will open the floodgates to lawsuits and bankrupt the country. That is what a lot of Canadian politicians think, and I kind of don't care.
No,
given the stakes, given what's happened.
No, dude, me neither. Like, that's the question I think a lot of people are asking. After going through or learning and having their eyes open and awakening to the Holocaust. It was a fucking Holocaust of the indigenous people. It was it was genocide. These were concentration fucking camps that white men, colonial men and women, and the Catholic Church that founded or said they founded this fucking country, which they didn't. It was them. They committed genocide. And to the point where, in a conversation I had with someone today, that Hitler based concentration camps on the residential school system and what the Catholic Church did so effectively in Canada.
Really?
And across North. Yes.
I did not
Yes.
know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. And I was learning about, when I was talking with these guys and trying to educate myself, I was, hang on, everybody. Hang on. Do we have a, is he, hang on. Hey, dude, did you lose power? You lose power?
The whole building went, I think, might have something to do with the fact that we've been running our air conditioners non-stop.
I feel like you're in an
Yes.
A&W somewhere in Lethbridge.
He's in an Arby's for sure.
Chris Sky joins the program, ladies and gentlemen.
The vaccine passports are going to be used for this.
Come on,
Yeah,
give it to us.
yeah. I don't.
Dude, that is
It's
no joke.
really
I mean,
bad
they
here.
lost power all over Western Canada. What's the temperature like in Alberta?
It's I think it's I just looked just before I jumped on. It's sack sweating is what I think the official term is.
Lachlan, exactly how long are your balls right now?
Oh,
Did you just leave them
I've
in the
been
living room while you
freak-
did the
I've
podcast
been-
today?
Wow.
every sit I'm dipping. Yeah.
Oh, guys, Lachlan's here. Nope, that's not the red carpet.
Swamp Kulo. You got something going on down there, fella.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Panty soup, I'll tell you that. Oh, hold on, I got the power back.
Hey.
Hey, where'd you get some
There
machine?
we go.
Well done.
Wow.
Now it's gonna take about 30 minutes for the modem to kick back in.
Hey, Positive White Mike wants to know if you're in your QAnon cave.
Yes.
All right, you want to call back on your computer?
Yeah, let me just wait. Let's wait till the power comes back on. But
All right.
yeah, until the modem kicks back in. But yes,
All right, good.
we'll definitely do that.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah, sorry about
I'm
that. No, it's
What's that earwax? Jesus.
great face.
I
That
think,
explains
I think
all the
it's like
churches
30 plus.
burning down. Yeah, dude, it's like 40 here with the Humidex.
Come on,
That's
guys.
insane.
Let's all do
like-
Lachlan.
It's like FaceTiming one of my parents right now.
Yeah. Daddy, stand away
Dad,
from
the camera's here.
camera. No,
Can
Dad,
you hear
Camera's here,
me?
Dad.
Dad, I'm driving through a
you hear-
tunnel. Okay.
Chris.
Hey guys,
Dad, back up.
where's my nephew? Where's the nephew? Can you see me? Can you guys see me?
Should we be wearing masks while we Zoom?
Did you get the plant I sent you?
Where's Christmas going to be this year?
Don't forget to take your vitamin C.
I'm talking to Dean!
Oh, well, what a time. It is nice to take a break from the serious stuff. I don't know if you guys know this. When Locke actually gets back in, look at him. We can only see his
it's
fucking
like
mouth.
Headroom is a hillbilly.
This is great. He doesn't give two shits either. It's like, fuck, I'm going to keep it on this the whole
What
time.
personal brand?
Anyway, let's bring Allie in. Hey, Al, look at the boys. Look at the boys. Look at Locke. He's got the old man, I'm a dad, I don't know how to FaceTime view.
I can see that.
I'm sorry.
Allie Mars, ladies and gentlemen, from the Off the Rails podcast. Allie Mars joins us. Allie Mars. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're good. Allie's in Calgary. What's it like there? Locke's in Alberta. Hot as fuck. Just lost power. Is it hot there too?
It's 35 right now.
Why are you outside?
Because I live for this weather. Like, this is my favorite temperature. So I am very happy to be out here right now, sweating
say-
my ass off.
Say hi to James and say hi to Locke and Rookie, obviously.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. The reason Allie's here is because I love her. She's the best. And Allie, I don't know if you guys know this, is a superstar on OnlyFans. So Allie Mars on OnlyFans, right? ALLIMARZ. Is that correct?
No, my OnlyFans is under a completely different name. Actually,
Oh.
it's under Alex, maybe the only Alex or something.
Only you don't know what your OnlyFans thing? Dude, you got a chance to make some money here, and I have no idea why you didn't get that right.
It's the only one Alex.
The only one, Alex.
Yes, it's my alias.
On OnlyFans. So this week, I don't know if you know, it's not anymore, by the way. Sorry.
It's a solid.
Outing someone on OnlyFans. Yeah, that's a great move. But Allie, bad news, because I read yesterday that OnlyFans plans on removing all their adult content, which is something that you do, right?
Well,
did you look into that? Like I don't know how OnlyFans survives without doing what it is that they were put in business to do, but explain that to me if you can.
can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, sorry. I moved inside because I feel like it might be easier this way.
Probably.
I was actually talking to Rookie about this actually like the other day, and I think they're removing certain things. Like I don't know if they're removing all of it. I actually I looked it up. Oh my god. I looked it up myself like on Google or whatever, and they were saying most of it will be, but I think you can still do certain things.
Like what?
Explain those things, yeah, and slowly.
In detail. Dean, a little explaining music, please.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to put on some sexy explaining music so that you can.
Is it
can
kind of
really...
like strippers in the 80s where they could like shake their thing, but they couldn't flick the bean or they couldn't like throw something upside of them?
Jesus.
Like the difference between Penthouse and Hustler, remember?
Yeah.
Open the curtains or keep them closed.
Mitzi would come to town and start firing ping pong balls all over the bar. And everyone would just go crazy. And then
You got to hit him back.
And there was me with a paddle and a splash guard going bang, bang, bang. Another one. Oh, she won again. Yeah.
And then they would send her home. She'd make one night. You had to go to Mitzi on Monday night because she wasn't going to be back on Tuesday.
Okay, so what are the rules then? Like, where are we at with OnlyFans? Is it if they what's the deal? How are you going to continue to do business with OnlyFans if they're taking that stuff away? And what are the new regulations? Because I didn't like this for you, Al. I was sad for you when I saw it.
I don't put out certain content. Like I'm not posting videos of me like having sex. Like I don't post that kind of content. It's just like videos of just myself. Like that's the only kind of stuff I would personally sell. So I mean, I think that when I was talking to Rookie, I think they're getting rid of like the sex aspect of things.
Oh, do
if
they?
I'm correct?
So can I ask you a question? It's a very serious question.
Okay.
Might not be. It's kind of a serious question. Are people allowed to have sex on OnlyFans now? Like, are there videos of people having sex? Is there porn on OnlyFans?
That's what people sell. Like I have a girlfriend on there and she sells that kind of content, but I personally would never sell anything like that.
Why not?
I don't, when I make it really big and famous one day, I don't need any of that getting leaked.
Dude, that's how you get rich and famous nowadays. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I guess
You're going about it the wrong way.
I just want to point out that I have a IMDb cameraman credit. I just wanted to point that out.
You got the cart before the horse.
Listen, you have to be prepared. That's all I'm saying,
Yeah.
I guess that's how Kim Kardashian got famous.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it is. But what's the difference, Al? Like, and I'm only asking because I'm asking from a technical perspective, right? If it's let's say it's me and a fleshlight, or it's me and a female. I mean, what's the difference? Isn't all of that sort of just adult stuff? Like, doesn't that
the main difference is that you won't get any OnlyFans.
That's not true. There, how many sick fucks are out there that would subscribe to my OnlyFans account?
We keep trying to get Jimmy the midget to jump on OnlyFans, and like all you have to do is just once a day rip your dick out, shake it around a bit. You'll make a killing.
Rip your dick out?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice.
But is that like what is that? What happens? Like, is it just it's solo stuff? Is it just videos? Is it pictures? Is it kind of all of it? And are they eliminating pictures? Or hey, Deb, are they eliminating pictures on OnlyFans? Like, what is the elimination? What's the change?
I don't really personally know, just because the only reason I found out was because you messaged me and told me that. So I looked it up on Google, and I think they were still trying to figure it out, because I think they're looking for billions of dollars to do the change. So I don't really know if it's happening anytime soon or like what the plan is, but
It's probably like a
then
trial
we'll wait.
balloon, right? It's a trial balloon. They're gonna they'll release that and say we're thinking of doing this, or we are doing this, or whatever they want to put out. They'll gauge the reaction, and then they'll decide whether or not they're going to follow through. That's like a typical marketing strategy, isn't it?
And
That's what politicians do.
The thing with OnlyFans too is it's just such a heavily celebrity based thing now too, because like a lot of celebrities have it and people want to buy celebrities content. So I feel like they bring in a lot of profit from that, in my opinion. So I find it hard to believe that they would get rid of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, OnlyFans. I'll just read you the article. They're saying that they probably need to get rid of the adult stuff because they want to make themselves attractive.
Probably
to advertisers. Probably have to get rid of the. But then I started.
Probably. He sounds like Millhouse's dad.
Yeah, probably should get rid of the porn. Sorry, I know it's not porn. I know you don't do porn, Al. I'm not saying that, but they want to get rid of their risque content altogether. That's what it said. OnlyFans may get rid of it altogether. Bloomberg released a report this week saying OnlyFans is seeking that coveted $1 billion valuation. In order to do so, they may need to make themselves more attractive to advertisers. Unfortunately for the company, it's reported they're allegedly struggling to find major advertisers due to, I'm just reading this, Al, pornographic content. OnlyFans has also been a place where celebrities can connect. Did you guys know that Black China makes $21,791,195 on OnlyFans a month?
Who's that exactly?
Yeah, who's
Black
China?
Wrestler?
She was dating Rob. No,
Drag queen?
no. She was dating Rob Kardashian for the longest time.
Oh,
Drag queen?
I'm
A wrestler.
I don't.
It's a pretty good guess, though. If you didn't know.
Black China. Low like China, the
she a
wrestler.
wrestler?
Just the black version. That'd be funny.
No, this is Black China. But this is her. She makes $21 million on OnlyFans a month.
A month.
A month. She charges anywhere from $6.99 a month to like $50 a month. But she makes $21 million a month.
Someone's gonna pay for those nails.
Bella Thorne, $12 million a month. Cardi B, $10 million a month. What does Cardi B do?
Probably
same. They show their ass. That's what they do. There is a video. I did know. I did realize this because I did some reading. There are Black China has a lot of videos online of her on OnlyFans of her. How do you say this?
Flick the bean.
No.
Okay.
Is she masturbatory?
No.
Does she have intercourse with men with
yes,
big penises?
Yes, but not in the regular spot.
Oh, she has anal sex with gigantic penises. Okay, I get it.
It took a while, but we got there.
You know, sometimes when I see the letters BBC, I don't think of a news outlet in the UK.
I never do. There's a news outlet in the UK with the BBC?
Yeah, right? Like, they just rode the wave of the popularity of BBC.
Someone wasn't thinking about that day.
I've got a great name for this television network.
BBC.
Big Black Corporation.
Good for you, BBC. Sounds lovely. And then all of a sudden the internet comes around and the BBC realizes, I've Googled us today and I saw something disturbing.
Sometimes when I bring my wife a
Same
coffee
thing
in the
happened
morning,
to me when I started using the locker room hashtag.
Yeah. Locker room is famous for gay porn, is it not?
Yes, and there's a lot of it underneath of the locker room hashtag, which is unfortunate because we still use it. We had a long conversation about not using it. Mm-hmm. We were too far in.
Show was 5 years old at this point.
We're going to have to sidle up next to the other group that uses the locker room and just go with it. That's what you had to do, right?
Yes. Yes. So if you check that hashtag out, you're going to see some guy blowing another guy and then a video from our show.
What if they're one and the same?
Us taste testing Pringles.
And then the other stuff.
Welcome to BBC.
Oh, man.
Our first guest is
Man,
Ben Dingo.
Internet porn is so funny, isn't it? It's the best. So this isn't gonna harm your ability to make money then.
I don't
No.
think so. I
No.
don't think so. I mean, we'll see, obviously.
Yeah. What's the most like? Where do you draw the line? I know everybody's different, but where do you draw the line with content on OnlyFans?
Like I mentioned, like I won't have, like I will never sell anything sex related.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Like I said, I mean, it might make me famous one day, so maybe I'll consider it. But until then,
Don't do
we're
it.
gonna. Yeah.
Atta girl. Allie's also host of the Off the Rails podcast, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. And
First
she's
you were fucked up, then you went off the rails. I
Yeah.
like the consistent theme. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Dean.
it's very similar.
and Rookie actually works very closely with the girls. And Allie's been an absolute superstar. And
That explains the smoking, Rookie.
I finished that Captain Black before we went live, so you couldn't even reference it. I just
crushed it.
Just one.
yeah, before Allie got on, he was like, yeah. But they work very closely together. And Allie's got a terrific podcast called Off the Rails. And I don't know if anybody knows this. She is the most sponsored podcast in our entire network.
Obviously.
The entire network. Yeah. That's how good she is. That's how
Hey,
good
do
she is.
we
She's
have
not
any
just
sponsors?
an OnlyFans maven. Yeah, we got a lot. And I had a great meeting today, which I'll tell you about later.
Guys, how come we're so ugly? I mean,
Do you
we
wanna
can't
be
get
rich?
sponsors? I want sponsors.
Well, that's the thing. Is I thought maybe we should put Allie on the podcast more and more, just so people are like, here's some money, just give it to her.
Yeah.
Bring it in for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we don't have more sponsors. Just looking at the panel.
I mean,
We just
there's got to
need
be a
targeted
food
sponsors.
sponsor in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Ball
What the
cream from
fuck's wrong with Arby's? Get off your wallet. Come on. Talk about you every week.
Anyway, Al, listen, I just wanted to bring you in and say hi and ask how you're going to manage this whole thing. And I'm really happy that you got a chance to pop in.
She looks
Well,
destroyed
hold on.
by the whole decision.
If
Yeah.
I may suggest, if I can suggest, Ali, that like if they're not going to let you do videos, you could move to auditory work, right? Instead, you could do like
Jeff
sensual
Woods?
phone calls or something like that, just off the top of my head. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. As we close in on James's fetish,
Stop saying things that are true.
I will consider.
We'll let you go before James gets weirder. Thanks, Al.
That is a guarantee. Don't worry about that. That's going to get worse from
I
here
love
on
you
in.
guys.
We love
Riley,
you too.
have a
We love
good
you.
day.
You got to listen to her podcast called Off the Rails. She is awesome. She's
Is that
like she's
did
indomitable.
they just change the fucked up one or
Yeah,
whatever?
they changed it for fucked up. Yep, and she's going to go in a new direction with it. She is absolutely brilliant. She's funny. She's smart. She's a professional person,
Nuts.
and she lives. You know what I love about Al? She just lives her shit. She just lives her life. She just does her thing. She just does Allie. And if you don't like it, she smiles and says, "Hey, fuck you. I'm going to go have fun anyway." That you have to go listen to her podcast it's called Off the Rails. Great podcast. Wonderful lady.
But she has her boundaries, which we've discovered on today's podcast.
Here's a question: If someone said, "I'll give you 21," like Tyga, you know who Tyga is? The rapper Tyga. He's the only dude on the top 5 list of OnlyFans moneymakers.
What's he doing? Good Lord.
Shows his dick.
All right.
Shows people his dick. Shows people his hammer. He
And
makes,
how much money?
$9 million a month.
Is
on
it
OnlyFans.
a remarkable hammer?
Thank God I don't know. Seriously.
James jumped out.
Where did James go?
Just when we started talking about hammers, he's
About
gone.
Tyga's wiener. Yeah. No, but he makes it. And then I started thinking, I've never been desperate enough to go, I'm just going to start showing my hammer for money.
I can safely say this, Dean.
But for $9 million, if someone said, "Listen, Locke, we need you," if someone came up to you and go, "Locke, OnlyFans needs its influencer for men.
Here's where I'm at with that.
We need you to show your wang,
No,
and we'll give you
here's where-
$9 million a month and those massive testicles."
Here's where I'm at with that. Dean, I'm pretty sure that you and I will never get offered any money to show our hammers. So it's not even worth the conversation. If we're relying on feeding our family based on what I've got in my pants right now, I'm in trouble.
How do you know? There could be a very niche market out there, Locke.
No, I know.
You could get a real niche market in there, man, and make lots of money.
How many hundred people we got watching right now? Do you want me to get rid of them all?
Several hundred. No, but for 9 million, like, listen, if you had a hammer like Tigers and someone said, "Here's 9 million,"
Okay, yeah,
and
fine.
you're like, yeah, fuck,
But
of course you'll do
You
it.
should have
No, but-
started there.
But what I'm saying is, it was just started there. You should have given me Tiger's hammer to begin with. But like, if you consider it, you know, the base form of what those people are doing. Allie's different. Allie does it because she's a free spirit. I'm sure Tyga does it because he needs the money. I'm sure that, you know, all of the rest of those people are doing it just because it's free money. But would you show your junk for free money? Yeah. I don't know that I would. You would, Chris?
It's
Yeah,
probably. It's already
I'm not
out
at
there
that
on the
point.
internet, so
I'm not at that point.
Well, not after like a swim in the pool, but you know, like first thing in the morning, I would for sure.
after a nice fluffing
On a muggy
perhaps.
day.
We could wear different stylized pants and then show an assortment of tents during the week of what would make a good tent, right? Right? We could do
Yeah,
that.
I'd do it, but it would have to be really warm outside,
Yeah. Yes.
and I'd need a lot of turmeric prior.
Yes.
Is turmeric good for that?
Really good for boners.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah.
All right. Guess where I'm going after the pod.
Turmeric pills are great for boners.
Yeah.
9,000 milligrams, the pepper pills. At least that's what I've heard.
What else does it do to you? That sounds like something that's
welcome.
going to give you a side effect.
No.
9,000 milligrams of turmeric. Well, I can
That's
get
all
a
it is.
boner now, but I'm cross-eyed.
Hey guys,
Your
I'm
skin
rock
goes all
fucking
yellow.
hard. Guys, I'm rock fucking hard right now.
You look like you have jaundice. You're a shade of turmeric. What have you been doing all weekend? Well,
I don't know, but I'm rock fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. Did you guys see this dude come after us this weekend?
I was wondering. There's no backstory to this. This is just right out of the blue. You don't know this guy. You've never met him.
You know,
Okay.
if there was a spin-off show about Bob Saget's penis from Full House, that's who Bob Saget's penis would be, right there.
This is why I hired James, because nobody ruins people like DiFiore.
I try my best. Yes.
He looks like what they tried. He looks like an attempt at a Muppet. Like, and then they just went, no,
Guy
no
Smiley.
one's going to like that one.
That was the reject of the Guy Smiley character. Just put it in the pile with the others.
Dope-de-dope-de-do. So
If I had hair like that, I'd never wear a toque, though. Come on.
I don't know if you
if I had
guys
hair
ever
like
saw-
that, I'd turn it into a fucking series of sweaters.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Drive to Survive, but he looks exactly like the chief principal from Ferrari, and I got a photo of him.
Yeah, he does. Toto
Don't
Wolf.
compliment him.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
God. Yeah,
Wow.
he does. He looks like Toto Wolf.
No,
That
that's
guy
the
looks like
Ferrari
that
guy.
partying guy from the New York scene. Remember that gay dude that does all the stuff for
Andy Warhol?
no, I forget his name right now. Anyways, I'm Facebook friends with him for some fucking reason, but yeah.
No idea. Look at that. It's fucking unbelievable. The Scuderia Ferrari boss. Yeah, looks exactly like him. Anyway, so this guy, just a little backstory. So Ed the Sock, our friend Steve Kersner, I like him. I like Ed. Listen, if you don't like Steve Kersner, or if you've got something against Ed the Sock,
I do.
the guy deserves
too.
your respect. He's the only human being I've ever met that's been able to turn a sock into a fucking empire.
Fair,
so-
but his new image doesn't fit the sock image. That's my issue with
Oh,
him.
the
He's
liberal
too-
sock?
Yeah,
You're
I don't know.
I don't think we're ever supposed to know what the dude in the sock looked like. You know,
Yeah.
like I've had a business lunch with the guy that played Pokeroo, but I swear to God, but straight up, I didn't really want that. I didn't want him to show up with his face shown because it just ruined my childhood, right? Like you're not supposed to be seen. So I feel like Steve. Plus, Steve and I like Steve. I think that we would be, we would be good acquaintances and we would get along. But don't forget, he kicked me off his goddamn podcast because I said shit that was true about stuff.
You know,
right?
just so you,
I like,
just
but
so
I
you
like
know,
him
I
now.
also
I like him
kicked
now.
you off
I like
of our podcast once too, and you're back.
Yeah.
So,
Pokeroo isn't Steve Paikin?
No, it's not Steve Bacon. No.
Is that a
What
TVO
the
joke?
fuck is Pokeroo?
That's
You
a
live a
TVO
very
joke,
interesting life, James.
So
Who's
let me
Pokeroo?
explain.
Thank you.
Shut
I don't
up
know.
about the Pokeroo. I'm on to Breen Oulette, guys. Join me on the
All right.
Breen Oulette train.
Wait,
So,
hold on. What's his pronouns? Oh, there we go. Okay, I know now.
his pronouns
That's
are
good.
him, her,
Yep,
he, him.
I just want to make
And-
sure. Yep.
My pronouns are me, mine. Are those pronouns?
His real pronoun is sex only on the bottom. I think.
Stop it.
I mean, with women.
Stop it. Listen, this is what he was tweeting to Ed, Steve. It's funny that he mentions misogyny because it was aimed at Ed the Sock KKK. He hammered Ed the Sock with calling him a racist, a Klan member for like fucking a week. So I tweeted this, hey Ed, this is what the mute button's for. Crazy is crazy. It never has a color. It's a gotcha game. Woke fucks play for attention, right? So just leave him alone. This guy not only came after me, he made it his job over the next, and he's a fucking lawyer. And he's running for office for the NDP in Vancouver. Like he wants to be somebody. So what does he do? He then goes on to call me a misogynist, a racist, and then he says that's how he heard him attack his cash flow. So apart from not just calling me a racist or misogynist, which, as you can see here, he called me a racist, a fucking slaver wannabe, says I uphold
Where is he getting all
apartheid
this?
says I'm ignorant of my own role in the genocide of Native people. Literally, this guy came after me with this stuff all weekend long, and so I'd had it. Like I was like, "Fuck this guy already. It's annoying. It's just Twitter. It's like a fly that you can't get out of your bedroom at night. Just fucking tired of it." So all of a sudden, my DMs started to fill up with messages from lawyers going, "Hey, can I sue that guy? Hey, will you let me sue that guy for you? Hey, if you need a lawyer, I'll sue that guy pro bono. Hey, I'll do that guy for free." 2 lawyers in Vancouver are like, I fucking hate that guy. He's such a grandstanding wizard of idiocy. What we'd like to do is go after him. Will you let us? So after I sat on it for a bit, I forwarded to a good friend of ours, Rob Kaviklian, who's a lawyer, criminal law guy, but he loves to sue people too. Because I know him and I trust him, and another friend of mine named Damien, who's also a lawyer. So they're going to take care of that. But they've legitimately started a lawsuit against him, and we'll see how it bears out, because what he did was went after our clients, started telling our clients we're misogynist, we're racist. We haven't said or done anything misogynist ever, because the second we do, it's over, and I'm in business. I'm not here to be an asshole. I'm here to make money and drive a project, so we don't do those things. Oh, also, they're fucking horrible and they're terribly wrong. So when this asshole takes his woke extremism and he tries to shove it down people's throats by calling Ed the Sock, by the way, Ed, extremely Jewish. Hard to be racist when you're an observant Orthodox Jewish man. However, he goes after him, and then he calls me because he's a fucking piece of shit. That's all he is. He's a legalese piece of shit who loves to go after people and tell. And here's the other thing: he and I are both on the same side of this Indigenous residential school equation, but and we're promoting learning. We're trying to understand it. We're trying to take the right side of history and call these camps what they were, genocide camps. Yet he still has the ability to say that we're a racist organization and that we're just doing that because we want clicks. That's the part. And then he went after our business. So now I'm going to fuck him over.
What I thought was especially disgusting is that every time his back was against the wall, he reminded us that he was the lawyer for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And I was just like, really? So like you falsely accuse people of being racist and misogynistic. And when they challenge you on it, you hide behind the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls as if that is all you need to say in order for you to get away with falsely accusing people of being racist. I thought that was cheap. And I thought he was using dead women as a human shield at that point. So.
Oh, he does. He does in all of his tweets. So so what he'll do is he's that guy because, and I think is he Métis as well? If he is, so he'll use, the residential school system, the genocide as a way to promote himself through this whole thing. That's what he's been doing.
That's before the power went out. I wanted to say that, and I don't know if I made that clear because I don't know where I got cut off. But my friend Al
got cut off like this.
Bloop.
Yeah, that's how you were for like 2 minutes. Yeah.
Sorry, but anyway, Al and we talked on the weekend quite a few times, and he's got a good point, right? Like he doesn't want to come on and talk about an issue that didn't impact him directly, right? And I have respect for that. And I told him, you don't have to come on, right? And this guy, I don't know. This is understand more time in your day. Like go find something else to do. Brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't.
One of the
That's
things.
the thing.
Can I just say one of the things that that I find that guys like him do. So as soon as, and I don't want to have a conversation about this, but because the conventional wisdom among the far left is that you can't be racist against white people. It makes certain people feel really empowered to just use like ridiculous speech against white people because of history, I guess. And I stumbled upon a Huxley quote, and here it goes. The surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people they will have a chance of maltreating someone. To be able to destroy with good conscience, this is the height of psychological luxury, the most delicious of moral treats. And you can see it, like the same like adrenaline that like a skinhead would get off using the N-word or whatever, or disparaging Jewish people. They feel the same adrenaline when they attack the only people that they've deemed attackable. And it's hypocritical. It's one of those things that are like driving the conversation away from things. Like
but there's
just
a
like,
lot of people out there that just do this. It's like sport for them, James. Like I don't understand. Like, can't you find something else to do? It makes no sense. Yeah, possibly.
I read a great fucking article this week. Go ahead.
Like alchemist creating your own ability to launch hate speech, hate attacks, and it's like a Schadenfreude thing, and you're just creating the Schadenfreude yourself by attacking people that are not allowed to say anything back because you're Métis or whatever the case may be.
It's funny too because it's happening on both sides of the whatever, the left and the right, and the right has kind of adopted it now too, right? The left had these sort of really sort of well planned out attacks on individuals, and then the right was like, all right, what seems to be working for them, let's do it. And so you got these two different sides both doing exactly the same thing, and a lot of time it doesn't even, a lot of times it's without merit, right? Like we saw in the cancel culture thing that we're still sort of living in. These people sometimes didn't even do the things that they were told they were, or they misworded something, and then boom, they're like just getting hammered. It's bizarre.
The woke left treat people that don't fall in line with their beliefs almost in the exact same way that the far right treat Muslims. Basically.
Huh.
Yeah,
just paint them with one brush, right?
Think about what this guy wrote. So we wrote a great article on how Justin Trudeau's dad, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, is absolutely 100% responsible for these schools, and we need to start stripping his name off of schools and everything too. Like it's time.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but go ahead.
Well, I do, because if Justin Trudeau is going to go after, if this is truth and reconciliation, let's get some truth. His dad loved the native school residential school system, loved it.
Is it true, James? What's your opinion on that?
Well, most of the most serious crime, and look, I'm not defending this residential school system. I'm not even really defending Pierre Trudeau, but it's not like Pierre Trudeau was saying this at a time when they were killing scores and scores of kids. Those kids died from like when they were open, these schools, probably the bulk of them until like maybe like the late 50s, early 60s. Like that was the bulk of horrible times for them. Now, does that excuse him basically saying that we need to assimilate the indigenous communities and make them part of the society? No, of course it doesn't. And there's a bunch of quotes that you could pull up that are problematic if you look at it through a 2021 lens, or even back then. But he did, after that, he, like Obama with gay marriage, he did evolve. Like he did establish, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it, but he did establish certain pieces of legislations or an act. If you have that link that I sent you, Dean, maybe you can look at it. But where he was trying to establish a new set of rights for indigenous people after he had failed in trying to
the white paper.
After the white paper failed in 1969, he put this thing forward called the white paper, where he was going to unload the Indian Act and assimilate every single indigenous person into Canadian culture and government, and wanted to do away with the Senate and have something called the Federation of People or something fucked up.
Because a lot of people believe that was the right thing to do. Not just like not long ago. I have heard, that's why I was confused by the article that you wrote, Dean, because I always thought that Trudeau was on not the right side of, but a side that didn't necessarily support the residential school systems.
No, he supported the residential school system. So did Chrétien, who was I believe the Minister of Indian Affairs at the time. And when they tried to abolish the Indian Act and they sat down in this meeting, there's a great movie called Dancing Around the Table that has actual video clips of this, Trudeau laughing, making fun of the culture and the people prior to actually sitting down and telling them, if you don't take part in this agreement, we're in 6 months or 6 years, we're going to have to come over and tell you what to do anyway. So unless you want to, you're going to end up living in the ghetto. See if I care. That's what his dad said. That's what Pierre Elliott Trudeau said to the Indigenous folks in this country when he tried to assimilate them and do away with the Indian Act and literally remove every treaty so that the white man could govern and they could get rid of what they called back then something called the Indian problem, which sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those are facts. Those are facts. I mean, and they're facts that, we don't learn about, and they're things that we don't read about because they've been buried or wiped out of our history, the same way we were, propagandized when we were in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade about what happened with these indigenous. They're not our indigenous people, right? These people are not indigenous Canadians. They're indigenous people that are not part of this country, and they have been maintaining that for hundreds of years. So all this is a fancy genocide. It's all this has been. And then instead of dealing with it through truth and reconciliation, each government has tried as hard as they can just to look away and not be the government that has to actually pay for reparations or find truth or any kind of reconciliation for Indigenous people in this country. So that's where this sits now. As far as where we go, you talk about bankrupting the country. Fuck, good. You talk about bankrupting the Catholic Church. Great. Catholic churches are being burned to the ground at a fucking alarming rate. Like I'm okay with it. Like, I'm really, really okay with it.
I wish I was seeing more in the public, like in the press, about going after the church, though. It doesn't seem to be building momentum. I thought it would. And it's disappointing. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't be going after the government, but I'm saying I think there should be way more focus on making the church accountable. Like,
do you know why there isn't?
Why?
12,143,000 Canadians identify as Catholic. It's a third of the country. You go after the Catholic Church in this country. You make the schools that sit on land tax-free Catholic churches pay taxes. You are going to shake this country to its foundation. But that's what needs to happen. I'm just saying that it won't. It won't, because the Catholic Church has been
too much power.
So fucking powerful. And not just involved in the government, helped form the government, agents of the government for hundreds of years. You don't think they're going to go after the Catholic Church for pecuniary damages for a Holocaust of Indigenous people? They won't.
They won't. But right now, I can't remember how to say this name of this place. Equilit in Nunavut. I can't remember. Is that? I'm probably butchering. Is that okay? That mayor. Right. That mayor says he plans to make a motion to remove the land tax exemption for churches in the capital city of Nunavut. So,
and all we need is precedent, right, James?
Yep.
I don't know if the precedent impacts other provinces. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, like the precedent from a symbolic standpoint is certainly powerful. We're still how many billions of dollars does the provincial government give the Catholic school board every year?
Yeah,
3.
Is that the same across the country? Is there a Catholic school board in every province?
Yep.
It's the main in St. Albert here. It's the main school board.
Yeah,
like it's the public school system is the Catholic school system. Hence the reason why my kids didn't go to the public schools in St. Albert.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I had a conversation with my son yesterday. He's 15. My by the way, my 17-year-old graduated today. Let's have a look at the drip. Look at that. That's right.
We all
That's right.
graduated. What the fuck's the
Look,
big deal?
That's a good looking kid.
Very.
Hey,
Dude, he
that
looks
up on
like you.
Twitter.
Is he
Yeah,
back
he's
home
on my
right now?
DNA.
He is
Yeah,
your
he's done his grad. Yep.
Yeah, but is he Pat? You're moving him out, right?
Yeah. No, he's going to Ottawa next year for game design. Yeah.
Kick him out. Get him right
He's
out
got
of there.
that Dean Blundell circa 2002 shit-eating grin, roughly, isn't it? Look at that. Hey.
Kid's a weapon. Look at him.
Anyway, so my youngest son, 15, he's like he's ensconced in this conversation about the Catholic Church and the genocide of Indigenous people in residential schools. Like he's really with it. He really likes to talk about things like this and wants to learn about them. So he says to me yesterday, he's like, "Dad, I go to a Catholic school, right?" I go, "Yes, you do." He goes, "Do I have to take religion anymore if we feel this way as a family?" I said, "Strangely enough, son, I don't think you do." And he goes, "Will you tell my teachers next year I don't have to take religion?" I go, "I think I will. I think I'm going to."
Please
so what I'm going to
videotape that conversation.
We're going to roll him into the 10th grade. He's going to walk into his first religion class and go, "Yeah, my dad says I don't have to be here because this is a cult."
Is it like a religious studies class or a Catholicism class?
Religious studies steeped in Catholicism. They don't teach other
he'd
religious
make the
studies there.
He'd make the news if he just stood up and he's like, in light of the Catholic Church's role in the genocide of the Indigenous people of Canada, I am protesting this class. And he'd be like a hero. Seriously.
I've told him to. I've said, dude, he goes, "What if they tell me I can't go to a Catholic school if I don't take that religious course?" I go, "Human rights complaint. We make huge news." He's like, "Let's fucking do it."
Yeah. Just make sure change his last name though.
Again,
if
document all
Blundell
of
makes
this.
human rights
I'm going
complaint, you might not win.
No, if
Yes.
I make it, we might not win. If a 15-year-old kid makes a human rights complaint that he doesn't want to be subject to the apologetic teachings of a cult, he's probably going to win in this day and age. All he has to do is bring up. Yeah, all
I
he has
wish
to
my
do
kids
is
were in school right now. I could pull
the
the shit.
residential
Oh,
school
wait a
stuff.
second. Have him convert to Islam just before he does it, and they won't even fucking
Yeah.
touch him.
Oh, and robot.
No, because I've told
Make
him
him
to
trans.
organize.
A trans Muslim, guys. I'm sorry, press. You can't criticize this young man. He's a trans Muslim, and you can't. It's true.
No, my only goal is to not let my kids get affected by the cult, and so because the Catholic Church is a cult. I mean, what other cults? Like cults kill people, right? Cults are. Can I ask you a question? Jonestown, Guyana, 1,000 people murdered with Kool-Aid in work camp.
Heard about that.
What was that called? Was that a cult? Pardon me. Is that a cult? Yeah.
It was
cult.
also a
That's right there,
fraction
James
of how
Cult.
many people died in Canada too, right?
Exactly. 1,000 people. We've got up to 100,000. The remains of 100,000 people. Catholic Church. So I think it's time we start calling the Catholic Church what it is.
Dude, they
A very
pretend to
profitable
drink
cult.
blood and eat flesh. Their
I always
God is literally a zombie. He's literally a zombie. Like, fuck off.
I always found that weird.
What's that?
I always found the drinking of
This
the blood.
is the body of
like,
Christ.
So what is that
Put it in
called?
Put it in your dirty little mouth. Like
Communion.
Communion. Okay. Yeah, I've never had that.
What is that called?
I literally,
hates
my
religion more than us.
stepfather lived by a river in a teepee for about 7 years. So,
So did Moses.
yeah.
Anyway, that's my goal. And I'll let you know how it goes. I'll videotape the whole thing, Wallace. That's it for us. I'm done. You guys done? You good?
Yeah,
That was a good one today. That was fun, guys.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming, Rook.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being part of the program. Rookie had a
problem.
nice big smoke before we started. It was a Captain Black.
Sure.
And it really triggered Lachlan
Hauling
Cross.
on it. I'm like,
And-
and he was inhaling too. Like,
And what
oh,
we
yeah.
found
So-
out in the process of that conversation is to quit smoking. Our friend Lachlan Cross decided to give up cigarettes, and he moved on to 2 packs of Old Colts or Ports a day.
wine tip.
Wine tip,
Ooh, wine tip.
no filter,
Yeah,
which is
well,
the equivalent of 75 cigarettes a day.
I was smoking quite heavily, and then I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
So I went to the store and I thought, well, I'll just wean myself off with a
way bigger piece of tobacco.
Wildly addicted to those Colts. I was hammering those things.
Do you inhale that smoke?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Okay.
So was Rook.
I'm not
Rook,
sure.
I could tell. I'm like, good
Are
for
you
you.
supposed to?
No, you are not supposed to.
I just inhaled it. Is that what you're supposed to do?
You get a wicked buzz from that too, I bet, eh?
I did.
Yeah.
That I did, gentlemen. It's a couple more beers. I was outside for half the show, and then my laptop overheated, so in I came.
It's freaking warm here.
Stay cool, everybody. It's gonna be hot here for like fucking 5 more days. James's house is 97 degrees.
Oh, our little buddy James P. White, he lives in an apartment building where they have where they turn all the heat on like all summer long. It's like Bonnie has like hot water heat through the building, so it never shuts off. So his apartment is literally 47 degrees right now, and I bought him a thermometer. We're gonna do daily updates on the Den of Sadness temperature this week with the heat wave, and the thermometer is huge thing the size of his head. He goes, buy me a thermometer. I'll put it in the Den of Sadness. I'm like, absolutely. I went and bought the biggest one I could find.
Oh, there's nothing worse. There is nothing worse in a heat wave than no air conditioning. Like I talked to Hancock. He says it's 40 degrees. He's never had air conditioning, and his family has to go to a hotel. Tomorrow, we're going to have these guys on from the States, Mac and Becky. They're like internet famous super skit people. They just moved to Portland, Oregon. They had to steal the air conditioning unit from the building they live in, and they had to put it in the window of their apartment, and now they got kicked out, so they're going to a hotel. But they're dogs, like the dogs that are walking around in BC, in the Lower Mainland, and in Washington State, all through it's everywhere. Dogs can't even go outside because their paws are getting burned inside like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. My dog is losing his mind. He's a puppy, and it's too hot. We can't keep him outside. We take him outside to take a dump, and then we bring him right back in. And we got him in the basement because it's cooler. Yeah. But yeah, and he's losing his shit right now because he's a puppy. He wants to go outside and play, right? But and we keep throwing him in the pool. We bought him a little kid pool, like, and he likes that, but he doesn't
just
go in it.
Toss him in the
we
pool?
have to
you throw it like a
throw
ball.
him in. Yeah.
That's cool.
Lab.
You should go in it and take some pictures for us. Lock in the kiddie pool
and hashtag it the locker room.
Yeah. Hashtag
OnlyFans. Here we come.
Get that turquoise bathing suit out and locker room yourself into some OnlyFans content with your dog in a kiddie pool in your backyard. It's
old
hot,
man
fellas.
balls. Hashtag old man balls.
Thanks, boys. Great to see you.
See you guys.
All right.
Go have another one of those cigars.
You will.
I will.
Videotape yourself smoking it and send it to me, please.
Cruise FM. That is Lachlan Cross. You can get him on Twitter at Lachlan Cross. That is Chris Rook. You can get him on Twitter as well. And James D. Fiore, Blackballed the podcast. Anywhere you get your fine podcasts. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us as well. Don't forget you sign up for our newsletter, DeanBlundell.com. Thanks to our sponsors over at Blue Microphones. Blue Mics, the best microphone in gaming, podcasting, streaming, anything you need. They got the XLR, they got the USB, they got everything. So if you want to know how to get this stuff on the go, great zit, by the way. You're welcome. Just saw that heater this morning. 48, still getting zits. Blows. Anyway, if you need anything for podcasting, broadcasting, go to bluemicrophones.com bluemic.com, at Blue Microphones on Twitter. Check them out. Part of the Blue Crew, DeanBlundell.com. Thanks to our friends over at Ed's Fine Imports. Right now, Ed's jammed. Clothing for men and boys, too. So he's got like a ton of stuff, grad stuff, if you're looking to get your kid done up right. If you're looking for something for yourself, they got the stretchy jeans from Heritage 34. Best men's clothing store on the planet. Go there today. Check it out. EdsFineImports.com. He's got his Gitch on sale right now. You can get a free pair if you use promo code Gitch3. EdsFineImports.com. Promo code Gitch3. Domination.com. Our friends over at Domination do AI so that you can do content and make it a bunch easier and save a ton of time. Totally free to try. Go to DMNTN.com today. We use them all the time. It's what we use to produce our content. You should do the same. DMNTN.com. And hello and a big thank you to Envision Digital Solutions, our back-end partner. Check them out today. They take care care of everything. If you need something built, if you're looking for a digital plan, go to envisiondigitalsolutions.com. And our friends over at Easy Auto Financial, awesome, fucking unbelievable people. What they do is they get you financing and they don't charge you for it, and then they hook you up with the car that you want. Super easy to do. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. Again, EasyAutoFinancial.ca. Have a great day, everybody. Join us at DeanBlundell.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Chris, do I have an extra here?